And again, we have to stop it due to copyright.
Football, hopefully on Sunday, we'll be coming home. But welcome back, guys, to another episode of, well, I guess this is going to be our penultimate roundup of the Euro 2020 tournament. I mean, I don't think it could have gone any better for England as it has gone. We're in the final against Italy. I'm saying that with a little bit of fear in my voice because it is Italy, and it's the one team I have really been scared of the whole tournament. But it's at Wembley in front of, I think it's going to be a full stadium. We're going to have, I think, 65,000 England fans in the stadium, if I'm correct. I think that might be correct. I think I heard that on the post-match analysis after the match against Denmark, which we won 2-1, obviously. But we should have the home advantage, obviously. We should have the fans. We should have the noise, the chants, the whole match. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere for England's first final in a major tournament for 55 years. And of course, we did win the last one against West Germany in 1966. In my lifetime, in your lifetime, Ibs, this is our first England final. I'm nervous, but very excited at the same time. I'm a bit scared, more so than nervous, because of the football that Italy have been playing. But the match they played against Spain the other day, I know you were at the match, but I was watching it on TV, so we have two different perspectives. I think they looked a bit vulnerable against the Spanish. They had less possession. When Morata came on the pitch, because he didn't start the match, when he came on, him and Dani Olmo were linking up very well. And obviously he grabbed the equaliser, and unfortunately they lost on penalties, one of which he missed. And watching the England match yesterday, we played all right. What are your thoughts of the final?
I mean, yeah, where's the start? Obviously, we're going to start with the England game because I still haven't got over the fact that we're in a final. I rewatched the game today, and still I still can't believe we're actually in the final. And yeah, we're playing Italy, the team that I didn't want. I wanted Spain. I said it last episode. I want Spain. It went all the way to pen, so that was a chance for Spain to win. But as soon as Alvaro Morata stood up to take his pen, I knew he was going to go in bottom right, and I knew he was going to miss. And it was just unfortunate. So Italy is. Bring on Italy. I think it was a great performance yesterday. Yeah, we went a goal down. Pickford, what are you saying about the free kick?
Oh, I've seen the first, when I saw the free kick, like the first time I saw it, I thought it looked more in the corner than it was. So I was like, yeah, what a great free kick that was. So I thought maybe Pickford, it was just way out of reach. But when I watched the replays, the different angles and the alternative angles, I realized it was quite central. Pickford does get mocked for having short arms, but he actually genuinely does have short arms. It's just what he gets picked on for. The free kick was quite central, but it was so powerful. I think it would have gone in past a lot of top-class keepers. The power he got on it, it wasn't a normal free kick. Usually when people take free kicks like that and they hit it with that much power, it's going 20 yards over the crossbar. But it was such a perfectly hit free kick that I just don't think Pickford had a chance. I don't blame him for letting it in the back of the net. Obviously, we went behind, and it would have been a bit testing for us because we obviously haven't been behind in this tournament. So it was nice to see that the response from the players was so urgent and of good quality. Because sometimes you go behind and then you respond and it's just all hell breaks loose and you're just running around for no reason. But we still had the inch perfect passes, like Harry Kane's pass through to Bukayo Saka. Saka could have panicked and just fired it across first time, but
he even had time to take a touch.
Yeah,
he looked up, see Sterling in the box, cross it in, own goal.
I needed that to be a Sterling goal, actually.
Yeah, but I needed it for the fantasy, which we'll get into later in the show. Yeah, I needed it.
We all needed it, man. but the response from the team was very good, and I'm happy. I'm not happy that we went behind, but I think it livened us up a little bit, almost like what Man United do. It's like one thing that I do think maybe, which I did kind of say a few days ago, is it's Denmark. Maybe the England players are like, it's Denmark. We weren't the same. We didn't play the same as we played against Ukraine. We didn't play with the same conviction. I know we didn't get into fifth gear against Ukraine, but there was a sort of zip to the play. I'm just gonna score. I'm gonna score now, and that's what it felt like against Ukraine. It didn't feel like that at times.
It was very, very. I feel like it was a very nervous game, very cagey.
Yeah.
But obviously we weren't goal down, and then I think after that we did grow into the game because Denmark were the better team for like the first, I say like half an hour of the game.
Yeah.
And it was inevitable that we'd grow into the game, especially with the crowd, the home advantage. So I feel like it could be the same against Italy. Obviously, Italy, I think it'll be very balanced in terms of a natural cup tie back and forth.
Yeah.
50-50 possession, I feel like it would be on Sunday. But to go a goal behind, I think it was a great thing because we haven't been behind in this tournament so far. So
yeah,
at least the players have experienced it now rather than potentially experiencing it for the first time in the final.
Yeah.
So for that, in that respect, it is a good thing. And then obviously got back quite quickly, as you said. Saka, great run. Saka obviously chosen to start this game. We said we don't really care who starts in the front three because just everyone's good enough to start. But Saka started, great run. Kane found him, then ball across the box, and Sterling unfortunately didn't get the goal.
I mean, I think it was 1-1 at half time, I believe.
Yeah.
In the second half, I fully expected us to bulldoze the game. I'll be really honest with you. Good evening, Ron. I fully expected us to bulldoze the game because of that goal, the fans in the stadium. As you said, it was a bit of a nervous start from England. And what I'm happy with was the fact that the fans didn't reflect the nerves on the pitch. Because, you watch football matches, you can hear the tension in the crowd.
Yeah,
it's like
the gasps and the moans and everything like that, yeah.
And I don't think that helps the players too much. So when people are singing "It's Coming Home, Sweet Caroline," the normal chants that England players would hear when you're playing a team that you're going to beat or when you're winning a match, I think that helps the players mentally. And it definitely helped us get through the extra time as well. And obviously, it didn't reach penalties, but we won it in extra time. I think the fans played a massive part. And that's why I keep on saying, I've said it every single time, every single episode that we've done on the Euros, I've said it. The later we get in a tournament, the fact that it's at Wembley is going to do us wonders because we're the home team, because we have 60,000, 65,000 English fans, England supporting fans in the stadium. It's going to help the players a lot. I reckon if that game was in Copenhagen, it's a completely different outcome.
Home advantage is a real thing. It's the 12th man. The fans are the 12th man.
Yeah.
And if without the fans, I don't know where we'd be because obviously home advantage. Yes, other teams have had to travel. Wales had to travel how many kilometers, miles, but yeah, we're fortunate, so we have to make the most of it, basically.
Yeah, we are. You said it right. We are fortunate. I think it was 6 teams in this tournament had their group games at home, and luckily we were one of them. I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter, a lot of stuff on Instagram, Snapchat. A lot of England's games have been at home this tournament. That's why they're winning it. That's a bit suspect. What happens when the World Cup's in Brazil? What happens when the World Cup's in Germany? What happens when the Euros is in Ukraine? It happens. It just so happens that we're taking advantage of it because a lot of teams will be playing at home. A lot of teams will be playing away. We played away and we still won. It doesn't.
Let's not
I think it evens out.
You can't forget how the last Euros is in France. France got to the final and they lost.
Yeah.
So there is home advantage, but at the same time, a finals are finals. One game, whoever's the better team on the day wins.
Exactly.
So, home advantage or not.
It just so happens we're good enough to progress and qualify and beat whoever's in front of us. We still haven't lost yet. Obviously, Italy haven't lost yet. I think we are the 2 unbeaten teams in the tournament now. I think even before the semi-final, if I'm right, we are just taking advantage of the home advantage, and I fully believe on the Sunday in the final, I believe we're going to go one further and actually win it. Because as I said to you before we went live, we have the better squad. The only minor weakness is the midfield because they have Jorginho, Verratti, and Barella, whereas we have Mount, Mason, and Phillips. I think Henderson will start instead of
I'll say instead of Rice, I think, because Rice has always come off for Henderson. Phillips has always stayed on for the 120 minutes.
Yeah.
So if Henderson was to start, it would be for Rice, I feel like, and then Phillips is the one that always just never stops running. So
I think it'll be interesting.
I think we have to mention Raheem Sterling. One thing I will give credit to is Ian Wright. I tweeted out that he literally didn't stop mentioning Raheem Sterling because he knew most other people just wouldn't mention him, and he continuously mentioned him.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. His performance was fantastic. I mean, I think it's the debate. It could be man of the match to him or Kane. I wouldn't mind either because I think Kane he had a good game. He did win a lot of fouls. Obviously scored the pen, but Raheem Sterling's work can't be unnoticed either.
Yeah, Raheem Sterling, as I said, throughout the whole tournament, I think I would say along with Luke Shaw, you got Raheem Sterling. I'm not going to give Harry Kane player of the tournament for England.
No, you can't.
I think it's literally just between Raheem Sterling and Luke Shaw. But we're going to talk about Sterling now. He has been consistently in 7.5 plus for all of the games, especially the game yesterday. When I don't think if you've never played football before, you can't sprint at full speed. You can't do an 100% sprint.
You can't
in the 70th minute. And Raheem Sterling's doing this. Raheem Sterling's doing this in 100 something minutes. I don't think that's not fitness. That's not hard work. It is fitness and hard work, but at the same time, that is the fans. That is Raheem Sterling knows what he has to do. Raheem Sterling's running through brick walls for Gareth Southgate. He's running through brick walls for England. He's running through brick walls for all the journalists and the pundits that have abused him and picked on him and ridiculed him over the years. He's doing that because he knows what he has to do. He wants to win it for the country that he lives in. He wants to win the Euros, and I think he is very much so the main reason that we've made it this far. Raheem Sterling, he's a world-class player, man.
He's so dangerous. Whenever he gets the ball left wing, you know he's going to beat your man. Yeah. He knows he's either going to get shot off, play an intelligent pass, or he just knows what he's going to do whenever he gets the ball. Yeah. And I think you said it last show, he's the best winger we have, and I completely agree with you now. Because before I thought Sancho potentially, Rashford doesn't even get a look in, to be honest. But Sterling is definitely the best. He's just so exciting when he gets the ball, and I think we just have to look for him every single opportunity against Italy, because against Italy's defense, who I think were quite susceptible, especially against Belgium, their right-sided centre back, or was it right back? I'm not sure of his name, but he was exploited by Jeremy Doku against Belgium. So Sterling just has to do the same, and
Di Lorenzo.
I think it was him. Yeah. And Sterling just has to do the same, and he will.
Do you know what I think? Obviously, this isn't going to happen. This is just me fantasizing in my head. I want to see Raheem Sterling on the right. He's a pure winger. When Raheem Sterling's on the right and he has to beat the man on the outside, when does he ever get tackled? He's coming up against Emerson. He did it to Emerson. Not Emerson. Yeah, I mean, he's coming up against Emerson in the final. Emerson is a bench player for Chelsea. He was Italy's backup left back. But in the match yesterday, Raheem Sterling was up against Mailer. I think his name is Mailer. He's very, very quick. I think he's probably one of the faster players in the tournament. He's quick on his feet. He's very agile. But Raheem Sterling had him spinning around when he was on the right, when he was switching flanks with whoever was on the other side. But when Raheem Sterling comes up against you and there's literally only one direction he can go, because he's right-footed predominantly, he wants to go down the outside. You know where he's going to go. It's the same thing that people talk about when they mention Arjen Robben. You know that he's going to cut on the inside.
Too fast.
You just can't stop it. And when I'm watching Raheem Sterling on the right, I'm thinking, why don't you start there for England? Because you beat your man 9 times out of 10, and you have the intelligence that you might not have had 5 years ago to look up, slow stuff down in your mind, and pick out the right pass. You have a clinical finisher in the box with Harry Kane, and then you have Luke Shaw, who I noticed on a few of the replays, and I say the replays because now this is when Raheem Sterling is on the right. I only noticed on the replays because I didn't pick up like when we were watching it live. But every single time Raheem Sterling was on the right and he cut in, you had Harry Kane in the box. You had, I think it was Jack Grealish, but also Luke Shaw was in the box as well. So whatever Luke Shaw's been told after the Scotland game, because in the Scotland game he literally didn't pass the halfway line. Whatever he's been told or coached by the defensive and Gareth Southgate coaches, he's been told to get in the box, just be an extra man in the box, because he's up and down the pitch, and I'm liking it because obviously it's gonna result in more goals, it's gonna result in more chances. But Raheem Sterling, he always has that option when he gets to the byline to either cut it back or even sneak a shot, in which he did against Cassius Michael, which unfortunately he saved. But he's so good, and you know he's gonna be there. You know what's gonna happen. It's only gonna result in more goals. And against Emerson, I mean, it's inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's game over against him. But you mentioned his intelligence, which he has obviously improved on whilst being coached by Pep Guardiola, playing at Man City. But I'll say that when he plays left wing, I think it's better for him because, as you said, he can breeze past defenders, but then he does look to go on his right foot. So when he does come in field, he can sort that pass into Kane as he did against Ukraine. And I think that's the reason why he might play on the left. Or he can cut in, run at the defenders, and as soon as he enters the box, he can't be touched. And he's good at getting to the byline. So maybe that could work if he's on the right side, but on the left side as well, it works either way. Quickly go through some of the comments. Chiesa.
Yeah,
what's the goal he scored against Spain?
I have something to say about him. I think he's the only person in Italy's attack that might cause us a problem. But even then, Luke Shaw, currently on form, is the best left back in the world. I think he's going to have him in his pocket. And I know Insigne might be a better player, but Kyle Walker this tournament has been very good. And one, he's bigger, stronger, faster. Kyle Walker's a very, very agile player. He turns ridiculously quickly for someone of his size. I know he's very fast, but Usain Bolt's very fast. He's not going to turn the same as quick as Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker, I think, will have Insigne very, very.
I think our defense is very, very good. We have the right-sided Man City partnership of of Stones and Walker. And then we have the left-sided Man United partnership of Luke Shaw and Maguire. Kyle Walker offers that pace that the others lack. Well, Luke Shaw, I wouldn't say lacks that much pace, but particularly Maguire and Stones don't have too much pace. Kyle Walker's that security that he will be there as a last line just in case a fast player gets in behind.
Yeah.
And we saw that yesterday against Denmark. Kyle Walker could have been man of the match as well. The way he commanded that defense, no one was getting past him. The way he does bodying players off the ball. People forget how strong he is as well as being fast.
He's a proper athlete.
He's an animal. So I think our defense is a very good unit. Big Ron says Italian defenders are very streetwise.
Yeah.
Very subtle with fouls, etc. Won't get much change out of them. Yeah. I mean, that works perfectly in England's hand because Kane, number one, best player at winning fouls. He wins so many fouls. And if we have Luke Shaw on delivery, Maguire's going to probably have another chance to score. Maguire had so many chances yesterday as well.
On that one, I think Italian defenders are the best in the business. You have Chiellini, who's him and Bonucci together, not for Italy, but even for Juventus over the past decade. I don't think there's been many partnerships that have been as consistently good as them. When Matteo Darmian came to Manchester United, I know in his first season, I think it was under Van Gaal, he had a very good season, and you could tell he was Italian. I think there's always one thing that I remember. It was from a video on the United stand. You remember Rance, one of the former co-hosts, whatever. He made a little joke about Darmian, but it was true. They know the dark arts of defending. Like he'll trip over just to touch your sock, and now you don't have control of the ball.
They know.
It's things like that, and there's things that the referee doesn't see. I think they get in your head, like the way. Not just a defender, but everything.
Shootout.
Yeah,
Jordi Alba and Chiellini. The way. How can you allow that? So how can you allow someone to do that to you?
He victimized him. He victimized him in front of the whole world, in front of his team, in front. He wore the captain's armband. Alba did, and Chiellini was hugging. He was squeezing his head. He turned him into his child. And Jordi Alba goes back over to that team with a lot less respect than what he had when he left. And Chiellini goes over there to his Italian teammates. They know that they're the Warriors. They know that they're going to win. Spain are thinking, oh, man, look what he's just done to our captain. Don't miss Morata. And it's just things like that. The Italians will be very, very, very difficult to break down because of what they know and the defensive nous and what they do to get in your head. And I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think the only way to combat it is just to not get drawn into what they're doing, which obviously the players will be able to do. They're professionals. They know not to get drawn in, continue playing our game. And I feel like if we continue to do that, we should come out on top. Well, it will be very back and forth. So Stu says, I'm so happy for England, especially Queen Lizzie. The last time they were relevant in football, she had no wrinkles. What? No, dude. What the Chiesa and Insigne, the first true wide threats to face England. Germany clueless not to have played Gnabry.
You know what? Do you know what it is with Gnabry? You see the season where Bayern Munich won the Champions League. That was his best season. He dropped off a lot in the last season, and he just didn't. He wasn't able to find that form before the Euros. Well, the same form that he would have taken into the tournament after their Champions League win. That's what I was trying to say. Germany just. I mean, we're not going to speak about them for long because we've binned them off, but they're just not the same team that they were. I think the international coaches, I don't think they can stay around for that long because international football is just so different to club football. And Yogi Löw, I think, was just a bit outdated. He needed new players. Players like Ritz, the Leverkusen attacking midfielder, I think should have come in. Players like Musiala, I think, probably should have started. I think international football, you can take those risks. You can play players that might not start every week for their club, and I think you'll still come out on top. I don't know. Bayern Munich, Germany just weren't the same as they were even 3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Italy Spain game. Obviously, you mentioned Chiesa, Morata got the equalizer for Spain. It wasn't enough because he then ended up missing a penalty when it did go to penalty shootout. And Jorginho, very, very cool. Very coolly slotted it. Bottom right. People saying on Twitter, if it wasn't for Bruno Fernandes who invented that penalty.
Fernandes didn't invent it. It was Jorginho.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like people don't know that Jorginho did invent it.
Yeah.
But I think the keeper should have known. You do your research, don't you? That players who do that type of pen, he got sent, and I'm sure De Gea would have saved it. But anyway,
100%. What I think, with penalties as well. What I don't like is when keepers they go before the players even kicked it. When we had Van der Sar in goal, he was one of the very few keepers, or maybe even the first, that I saw anyway, that waited for the player to actually kick the ball. Because goalkeepers are going before the players even put their standing foot down. And it's just like, all you have to do is be composed enough to know where the keeper's going and just literally pass it in the other corner.
Nerves do come into it.
Yeah, that's what Jorginho did. Van der Sar, that's how he saved Anelka's penalty in the 08 final. We waited for him to kick it. And obviously that means sometimes you might not be able to reach the ball because you've dived too late. But if you put in the practice and the work and you work on your reaction speed and your feet movement, who's to say that you just won't be able to replicate what Edwin van der Sar was able to do? Because he was a good penalty stopper. And all these, Jorginho's pony jump, whatever, I don't know what it's called. I'm going to call it a pony jump. When he was in the air, Simon was already on the floor.
Yeah, he was on the floor.
Yeah, and it's just, it's dumb, I think.
She says Hansi Flick was the brains and had the risk and dynamics.
Yeah, isn't he going to be who's going to be the Germany manager now? Hansi Flick. It is Hansi Flick, yeah. Hansi Flick's leaving Bayern to be the Germany manager, and Nagelsmann is now the Bayern Munich manager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jorginho went in with confidence.
Yeah, Jorginho always causes penalties. I think I saw something on Twitter as well. It was talking about the penalty takers and the mentality and what it takes, that long walk up. And someone was talking about Ronaldo's penalties. Someone was like, they reckon Ronaldo loves the run up. You see players, they look nervous. Their lips look blue and they look like, I'm going to throw up. When Ronaldo takes his penalty, he looks normal as ever.
He's confident.
And it's like he relishes the run up. It's like he relishes the pressure. And I think a lot of penalty takers that take penalties and penalty shootouts, most of them will get scored, but they're still nervous as ever. They've still never had that feeling inside of their gut. You know, when you on the roller coaster and it just drops and your belly goes like that. That's what a lot of players will be feeling in those shootouts. But players like Ronaldo, Jorginho, Fernandes, they won't feel that.
Especially how they would have played extra time. Their legs, some people are getting cramp, things like that. You don't have much power left in your legs to kick the ball or strike it with enough power. And I think we could see that with Kane. His penalty was not the best, but people are saying it's the best 1-2 in his life. So
I thought he was going top. Kane usually goes down the middle.
He goes middle
in a
left
situation or top left. Why did he go?
He changed it because he's obviously faced Schmeichel a couple times in the Prem.
Yeah.
So everyone knows that he goes left or middle. So obviously he wanted to change it. I'm pretty sure Schmeichel would have known he's going to change it, especially with the performance that Schmeichel had in the game yesterday.
Yeah.
He was saving everything. So he was bound to save that pen, but unfortunately he didn't catch it, and Kane obviously slotted it in.
Yeah, I think people forget as well that Schmeichel is an elite penalty stopper. He saves a lot of penalties. Remember the World Cup, saved Modric's penalties, saved I think a couple in the shootout as well. I just don't know why Kane went that way. I can't remember the last time I saw Kane go that way, and it was a terrible penalty anyway. I reckon if that was 2 games ago or in a group stages, he rattles out in the top bins like he did in the World Cup.
Yeah, World Cup, his pens were amazing.
Yeah, in pressure situations, like if he's playing a cup final or whatever, he goes last minute of the match, he goes down the middle. Like he opens his foot out, but closes it just at the last second, so it goes down the middle. And I was very surprised him going that way, to be honest. But luckily, he obviously scored the rebound, so it's all right.
Yeah, I was going through some tweets from yesterday about England, because the fans yesterday went crazy. Don't know if you saw like scenes from London, fans climbing on buses.
I want to do that.
And I don't know, if we win on Sunday, there has to be a bank holiday or something, because fans are not going home that evening. Sunday night, fans are not going home.
No one's showing up for work, and I fully support that. Whilst you look at them tweets, I'm so excited. I support Man United, as you can tell. Me and Ibs both support Man United. We've been through the heartbreak this year already of losing a final. We went into that final confident, thinking we were going to win. Oh, there's no way Villarreal can beat us. I'm going into this final with a level head. I'm an England fan. I scream. I'll cry for England. I don't care when it comes to football, that is. If we win on Sunday, I don't know what I'm going to feel, man. It's a feeling that I've never felt with an international side. Never felt with England. Didn't think I'd ever feel. And in a part of me is still a bit thinking, man, we're actually in the final. This is a one-off game. This isn't a league game. This isn't a sure result for Italy. As I said earlier, we have the better squad. The only thing they have better than us, like going head to head, I think is the midfield. But we have the better squad. We have a super team on the bench. You got Rashford. You could make a front six.
A bench is crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. God forbid Raheem Sterling plays terrible. Take him off. You got Rashford to come on. He hasn't played a lot, but you never know what he can do. He's a moment player. He's a moments player. He gets the ball 25 yards out. There's a yard of space. What? Top bins. Cool. That's Rashford in a nutshell. You could bring on Grealish. You could bring on Jadon Sancho. You could bring on Bellingham, our best box-to-box midfielder. It's ridiculous. And if Italy's attackers aren't playing well, Chiesa comes off, Berardi might come on.
You mentioned that you mentioned that you're going into the game level-headed. I'm telling you, I'm not. I'm fully confident. Just like I went to the Denmark game, 2-0 win. Okay, it was 2-1. Going into Italy game, I'm not going to say my prediction now. I'll say it at the end of the show, but just know I'm very confident. I've learned that if I'm not confident, then I'll be very emotional after the game. But yeah, from supporting Man United this season, I went into the Europa League final very confident. We lost, but because I was so confident, my emotions didn't come out very much. But going into this game, I'm certain that we'll get the win.
Oh,
And
my heart, because luckily, because I'm going to be working, but luckily I'll be able to watch the match at the same time. The atmosphere. I was working also for the Denmark match. The atmosphere in the I think you might have seen on my Snapchat story. I scream. My voice is still a bit.
yeah.
My throat is a bit gone. It's a bit itchy and dry now because of the screaming. But I say it. It's not just the fans in the stadium. The England players will know what's going on. They will have seen the celebrations. They would have seen all of the stuff on social media. They will have seen people recording in pubs, people recording in their living room. They would have seen all of that. They're going to feel all of the excitement and confidence that they're giving us to give back to them. And I think, and you're very confident. Just by you saying you're confident, I'm going to say I'm confident. It might have a knock-on effect. I believe in all of the knock-on effect stuff. I might tell my friend 20 people later, Raheem Sterling might get a message and now he's more confident. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe in all of that stuff. And with all of the confidence that England, the whole country has, apart from some people who for some reason want England to do bad, the rest of the country have all of that confidence. I think the players are going to go into that match thinking, yeah, this is our Euros.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's what you need. I saw the day before we played Denmark, one of the newspapers, their headline was, I think, about that we've already beaten Denmark. That was the headline, something along those lines. And people on Twitter were calling it arrogance, things like that. But I have a totally opposite viewpoint. I think that is very good confidence because we have confidence in our players that they will perform. We have world-class players, so why not have the confidence? I wouldn't call it arrogance.
It's not
People
arrogance.
will say that Ronaldo is obviously arrogant, but I say it's confidence. He believes in his ability. We believe in the ability of our players, so we know that they can do the job. And
I get what you mean. Ronaldo is a very confident player, and he's confident because he can back it up. For me, someone that's arrogant is Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
He's an arrogant player. England, I know what headline you're talking about, but I don't know where the headline came from. I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was from an interview, but I do believe it might have been taken out of context, like a lot of stuff is when it gets published. Even if it wasn't taken out of context, we have the squad, we have the results, we had the clean sheets going into that game. We have the best striker in the world, Harry Kane. We have the player of the tournament in Raheem Sterling. We have the best left back at the tournament in Luke. We have all the foundations of a European winning side to be able to say those things and actually go out and do it with a little bit of conviction. Yeah, there were a few nerves, as there will be in the semi-final, the first time they've been in one since the World Cup, and obviously that ended differently. So things like that will be playing on your mind. But I don't think saying what the headline said is arrogant at all. I think we just know who we are. We know who we are now. If the 2010 squad had said that, even against the Slovenia match and we didn't win it, it's a completely different story. But now there's a whole different atmosphere around England football in general. I mean, English football in general. And I think we can be afforded to say those things with confidence in the bank.
Yeah. And you mentioning about the players, I think we should talk about the managers because obviously we're going up against possibly one of the best managers in international football, Roberto Mancini. But Gareth Southgate deserves his credit as well. Every single decision he's made has been scrutinized, as it should be, because we have so many talented players in the squad. But every single decision he's made has paid off. Even yesterday, he was ruthless. Extra time. Before extra time actually happened, he brought on Jack Grealish for Saka. Extra time came, took off Jack Grealish after playing half an hour, brought on Kieran Trippier for some defensive solidity.
Yeah.
And yeah, those are the kind of decisions that have to be made. And I'm sure Jack Grealish is very unhappy. he probably wants to be in the tournament, be one of the star players, but he's barely been that. People have been crying for Jack Grealish to start. I'm not sure. Has he started a game? He started one game, isn't it? And that was it.
So. Yeah, I think so.
So things like that, he's kept things like that under control, and he's picked what he thinks is the best team, and it's worked.
Yeah, that's one thing that I said in the last episode. Gareth Southgate has grown and he's improved his international football management style. He wasn't the best as a club manager. Obviously, he got Middlesbrough relegated, I think. When he came into the England job, yes, you always have that new manager bounce, the waistcoat, the easy World Cup run, which we did have. But once that kind of settled down, it was like, we had 3 tough games against Belgium and Croatia, and we lost all of them. Let's not get too carried away. Yes, we got to the semi-final, but when we had to come up and actually play proper football against tough side, he just wasn't good enough. But since the World Cup to now, he's matured. He's making better decisions based on what he thinks. And I think he's making the correct decisions now rather than... I mean, Dyer was at the World Cup. Dyer was playing in the Nations League. I think... he probably definitely wasn't... If Gareth Southgate had just come into the job now, a few months ago, and he had to pick a squad for the Euros, I think Dyer would still be at the Euros because he was picking players. Yeah, but because he's been in the job for a few years, he knows international football. He's not picking players who might have been good for England 5 years ago. He's picking players that are good now and can actually help us win now. That's why players like Dyer aren't there, and that's why
he's not there.
He should still be there. I don't care. That's why players like Saka are there, because no one thought Saka was going on that plane, but he's been one of our best players. And I think he's making different decisions that people might not originally go, well, yeah, that's the correct decision. But after a little bit of thought and consideration, they're thinking, yeah, I might have been wrong, but Southgate was right. And I think that's good.
The thing about Southgate is that he knows his players. He knows what each player will deliver or what the outcome will be from playing them. So he knows, in this game, play Saka, start Saka because he knows what Saka can offer. Mount, you know what Mount can offer. Those kind of decisions, he knows what each player offers. Like Sancho, for example, he knows maybe it's better to bring on Grealish as a sub because the way he can impact the game, the pace or the winning fouls, things like that, he knows what they each bring. So I think everything has just worked out for Southgate.
Yeah, and I think that just goes all down to experience. And I'm happy that it's coming now because obviously we are in a final. We're one game away from lifting the trophy, and obviously, I hope that happens, but he does still have a little bit of improvement to go through to really get to the upper echelons of international management. Because as you said, Mancini might be one of the best. I think he is the best manager at the Euros, and he has shown that over the years he showed, and not just with Man City, but when he came in Italy, 36 games, I think.
Yes, 36.
Unbeaten. It's a shame that we're going to have to be the team that puts an end to that. But Roberto Mancini is the best international manager that I can think of at the moment. And Gareth Southgate has a long way to get there. But if he carries on the trajectory that he's on right now, carries on making the decisions based on whatever he's making them on, the World Cup next year is going to be another chance for him to show what he's about on the international stage, not just in qualifiers against Georgia and San Marino, because come on, you could probably go and manage England side and beat San Marino. But when you play in these tournaments, in high pressure matches, with literally everything on the line, that's when the best come out, and that's when the best managers, that's when the best teams and players really prove their worth. And I think Southgate has done it magnificently in this Euros. And as I'm speaking, I'm getting more confident for the match on Sunday. But
this is like, as you're saying this, I was thinking in my head, like, our team, like, there's no reason to lose. This is what I was saying with Man U when we eventually lost in the Europa League final. But with this team, it's something different. There's so many leaders on the pitch. There's so many talented players who perform at the highest level. So many England players in that team right now have experienced finals, whether it's the Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, winning the Premier League. So many players who are experienced players. Even, as you said, Sancho is on the bench, performing in Champions League, and Bellingham for Dortmund. So I'm just so confident because whoever starts, whoever comes on, they're going to have an impact on the game. So,
You,
no. What were you going to say?
do you know what it is? When you said leaders, what I was thinking when you said that was, I was just trying to run through how many club captains and club vice captains do we have in the England squad? Starting lineups, we have Harry Maguire, Man United captain. We've got Jordan Henderson, Liverpool captain. We've got Harry Kane, a Tottenham vice captain. Raheem Sterling, I'd even say, is the vice captain for Man City. Jadon Sancho wore the armband for Borussia Dortmund last season. Yeah, he's won it a few times. Yeah.
Wow.
We've got Rashford. He's worn the England armband.
Yeah.
We've got Declan Rice, pretty much the captain of West Ham because Mark Noble doesn't play that much. You've got Jack Grealish, the captain of Aston Villa, and you've got, I know there's one more sitting on the bench somewhere. You got Connor Cody, captain of Wolves. You've got a lot of leaders, whether or not they wear the armband, because you've got a couple of vice captains in there. You've got so many leaders in that team, and I think that can only breed success. And I think social media plays a part of what I'm about to say next. You've got all these. There's a lot more interviews on TV for Sky Sports. There's a lot more interviews for like all these YouTube channels now. You've got footballers going on things like Arsenal Fan TV. You've got footballers going on United channels, Talk Sport.
All things football in the future.
Yeah, give it 2 weeks. You've got all of that stuff. It's all it does is bring people closer together, because 10 years ago, 14 years ago now, you've got England, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal at the top of English football. When England players met up back then, Rio Ferdinand said it. You probably might have heard it. Some other people might have heard him say in interviews. When they used to sit at the where'd you eat? I'm having a mind blank. The dinner table. When you sit at the dinner table when the England squad linked up, Chelsea players will sit there, Liverpool players will sit there, United players there.
Cohesion, no chemistry.
Yeah, and look what you have now.
There's so much rivalry. That's why that generation didn't succeed, despite having, some would say, better players than we do have now.
Yeah, definitely better players.
There's too many rivals. But now, literally, as you said, the way players are doing interviews with all these outlets, speaking so well, as you mentioned, leadership, they all communicate very well when they do take these interviews.
Yeah.
And we're mentioning last show how it seems like the players are just like us. The way all these videos are posted online, it makes there's like some sense of, what's the word? Yeah, unity, connection. And that's why everyone's supporting England the way they are, because you feel like you're part of it.
Yep, and as I said before, it just goes back and forth between the players, the coaches, the staff, and the fans. We get confident, it gives them more confidence because they're confident they're playing better football, and it just goes on over and over and over again, and it's just like a perfect concoction of the recipe for success, I guess. And I'm ready to drink my life away on Sunday night when we win. I'm fully ready for it.
You see the shirt here?
Yep.
There's no printing on it whatsoever. Tomorrow, I'm going to get number 7, Ibs on the back. I would have got it coming home, but I'm very confident. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to get it coming home on the back. Maybe, I don't know. But no, I'm not going to get that. I'll just get Ibs for now. And I don't know if you saw towards the end of the extra time, we kept the ball for like 2 minutes.
That's a long time.
54 passes in that time. Like the fact that we went from the first 30 minutes of the game being very cagey to now being extra time, and game management was perfect. Just keeping the ball, didn't need to commit too many men forward. Well, we had so much energy. Sterling, as we said, was still sprinting at that time, and we just kept the ball. Like, we have players capable of keeping the ball, and that's what we can do. And yeah, I think we should go to score predictions, because getting to the nearing the end of the show, and yeah, we need score predictions.
Sorry, my camera just moved.
To me, it's actually
3-1. 3-1 England. I'm going 3-1 England.
I had that scoreline in my head. Yeah, the fact that you said 3-1, I'm going to say it as well, because that's what I thought.
For the I'm just going on to the Euros app, because what we're also going to do is, before the last for the last time you can get points on the fantasy league as well. Don't think we can win this one, Ibs.
Well, speak for yourself. I can win it.
How many points do you have?
I'm ahead of you. That's what I know.
By 2 points. He's ahead of me by 2 points, you lot. I think the person who was in first is now second. Mignolet L Trolls is first with 357 points. Oh goodness.
Darren says 1-0 England or 2-1.
I think it's 3-1. I'm going 3-1.
I think 3-1 as well.
3-1 England.
The scoreline in my head. So it's meant to be 3-1.
I'm looking at the form sheets. Italy obviously have 5 W's. We have 4 and 1 draw. The head-to-head record, Italy have 10 wins, 9 draws, and they've lost 8. So they obviously have the better head-to-head record against us. We have all players available. The only player injured or unavailable for Italy is obviously Spinazzola, who done it. I think it was his Achilles or something. Obviously, that's one of the most important players, probably their player of the tournament. So that is one thing. With Emerson coming in, I think whoever plays on the right, if Sterling's there, if Sancho's there, if Saka's there, if Foden's there, they're gonna have to target Emerson because he will be the weak link in their defense. I think their fullbacks are the weak link in their defense. You don't want to go directly up against Chiellini or Bonucci because they have the experience. They're going to get the better of you. I think we're going to have to play down the flanks in this game if we're going to stand any chance of actually bringing it home. But it's going to be an interesting match. And obviously, back to the fantasy league, the person in first currently is L Trolls, Mignolet 246. If you're watching, you have to make yourself be known because we don't actually know who you are. We don't know if you have Twitter. If you remember, the first prize for winning the fantasy league was a football jersey of your choice. So if you don't come and claim it, then you missed out. So you have to make yourself be known. Tweet me or Ibs on Twitter, and obviously I'll know about it, so we know who you are, address, blah blah blah. So whoever wins it, I think it's just between Carry Me Papa, who is GSE Walla or G Sawala. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
And Mignolet. So
and N'Golo Land.
Bro, you are so. How many points are you behind?
Not that far. All I need is
114 points.
All I need is everyone on my team to score and everyone on my team to keep a clean sheet, which is impossible.
If Ibs wins it, yeah, I believe in black magic because it's 114 points behind. Hello, Malachi. Ibs is 2 points ahead of me. Who's in here right now? Darren. I believe you were very, very low. You are second bottom, man.
Darren, you actually did get back, but then I don't know. I can't say.
Nah, Darren never got a lot of points. I'll be real. The most he got was 33. He had Giroud as captain. When was the last time you changed this?
Giroud as captain.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh wow.
Goodness gracious me. But yeah, Mignolet or G Sawala, you have to make yourself be known so that you can claim your prize if you win. If not, then you just won't get the prize. And I think it's as simple as that. But yeah, I think mine and Ibs' score prediction is 3-1 to England. I believe the only way we win this is if we play down the flanks. And
they play 3 at the back.
They play Bonucci. What, Italy?
Yeah, is it 4?
It's 4-3-3.
Okay.
Jorginho, Verratti, and Barella in the middle, with Insigne on the left, Immobile up front, and Chiesa on the right. Di Lorenzo right back, Bonucci, Chiellini is centre backs. Obviously, it would have been Spinazzola, but he's out injured, so it's Emerson left back, and obviously Donnarumma in goal. I believe we're gonna go 4-2-3-1. I don't think we're changing it to a 3.
Yeah, we won't change it.
Yeah.
We won't.
I was gonna say something else, but I completely forgotten. I have no idea what it was. But yeah, man, confident for the win. I believe it is coming home, and I'm so nervous but excited at the same time because it's my first time experiencing this at an international tournament. It's surreal to me. Almost can't believe it still, but come Sunday,
I still can't believe it.
You're gonna see a country united like you've never ever seen before. And trust me when I say this is going on until the World Cup. This is going on until the World Cup. If we win it, you're gonna see everyone. All jokes aside, racism is you're not going to be hearing as much of that because of the players in the team, because of the players that have been playing well. Yeah, and I don't think football should be the reason for that, but football is a reason for that. I think you're just going to see much kinder people. People are going to smile at you, and you're just going to smile back at them because England won the Euros, and football's way more important than I think people actually realize.
Yeah, football has, especially the times we're in, football's been a unifying thing, and we just need England to win because we need it. We need it, and I think it will come home. Hope so. Hope it does come home.
I need something to come back to Manchester this year, man. After the Europa League loss,
especially if it comes home, Man United are winning the Premier League in 2022.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. England for the Euros. Argentina for the World Cup. I mean, the Copa America, by the way. Finals on Saturday. Argentina versus Brazil. I need a Messi win because all of you lot, saying, "Oh, Messi's got no international trophies." Messi's got no international trophies, and
Ronaldo is the GOAT.
Messi is the GOAT. We're obviously divided on this channel.
Fred and Neymar are winning Brazil that trophy.
Pastor Fred.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I completely forgot he was starting for Brazil.
Watch Fred assist Neymar with a bad touch. That's all I'm gonna say.
His first touch is an inch perfect through ball for Neymar.
Watch it happen.
A 5-yard pass from Casemiro is a through ball for Neymar. Fred's first touch, but Messi. Because this is all things football, remember. You've got Messi, Aguero, Di Maria, Leandro Paredes. That's about it. But they're doing it. They're bringing it home. The same way United have the same fortunes as AC Milan. England are tied together with Argentina because the Falklands are obviously a very positive political issue. We're tied together with Argentina. If we win it, they win it. If we lose it, they lose it as well. But it's coming.
I don't associate with that. I don't want to. If Argentina lose, it doesn't matter if they lose. We're still going to win.
I mean, it's coming home. He should be. Pastor Fred should be given the armbands.
What I was saying is that if it comes home, we have Maguire, Sancho, Rashford, Shaw, all going into the new season winners.
Rashford and Sancho rested.
Fred going into new season winners
as a loser. Sorry,
winner. So, Man United next season is going to be amazing. But I want to leave the club talk for now because right now we're focusing on England. Club talk will come after next week. So, yeah, let me just, before I wrap up the show, I'll put this on. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel.
Remember to hit us up on Twitter if you are Mignolet or GC Waller. If you win, if not, forget about your prize.
And yeah. No, I don't want to hear this part of the song.
Yeah. We did.